How's it going, everybody? This is Pred from the SC2 Pred channel. I am actually going to be doing the first cast for the carlj.com/forum channel. Forums I frequent pretty regularly, good group of guys, and so we decided to make a channel for all those people who wanted to watch these replays without access to StarCraft currently. And so the first one that we're going to do, I'm going to try to get this out because it goes kind of quick, is the replay that actually started this idea of making a channel just for them. And down south we have Red Terran Freedom, who is the owner, creator, and moderator, and all that good stuff of the channel. Up top we have Ben Freemer, who's actually sending out one of his initial SCVs down all the way down here. We're going to see some pretty fun stuff. I don't know, the way Freedom was talking about it wasn't too terribly fun when it was happening, but overall it looks like it was probably a pretty fun game. And so really the forums, it's a good group of guys, and basically they go over everything: politics, religion, gaming, technology, cars, doesn't really matter. Anything that you have an opinion on, you'll find someone there who can debate it with you. And it usually leads to some pretty funny threads, as long as things don't get too terribly heated. Even those are kind of funny sometimes. But right now we have Ben Freemer, who is doing a proxy racks build. You can tell because he is not scouting, he is just sitting back here. Sure enough, and he's sending 2 SCVs, so dare I say there will be 2 barracks once he gets enough. And I'm gonna say sure. He is a Diamond 1 player. Apparently he got up there with some cheese. But it looks like he is done building SCVs and instead opting to do an early 2 racks build. And this could be pretty deadly, but the problem with this is an all-in build, definitely. You basically just said, I no longer need an economy when you're ever going to do this build. And sure enough, he's having a hard time even making the supply depot that's going to be needed to support them. And basically down here we have Freedom doing a pretty normal build. He did the supply depot, barracks, refinery, and he is just going to go ahead and send us up to scout. So now that we know that this is a proxy build, basically this is kind of frustrating for people, especially newer players, to counter, because let's face it, you go up here and you're like, okay, what's he going to do? It's Terran versus Terran. I don't know if this guy was random or not, but it's Terran versus Terran. It's going to be tanks and Vikings, and we're just going to have some good old hoopla. But the problem is that it's not. This was a very early proxy build. You can see the Marine's already done. And is this... Okay, his is done. First Marine's building. But the biggest thing to look for is you get up here and nothing. There is nothing. If he's a Diamond rank 1 and there is nothing in his base, guaranteed that's going to be a proxy. And that's further confirmed by the fact that we now have an SCV down here building a bunker, and he's bringing some more SCVs to join the fight. But we can see a Marine down here. He's going to try to kill the SCV before he can finish the bunker, and he's not going to be able to because this Marine shows up in time. But it does look like that this Marine is going to get that kill, but the SCVs are going to immediately retaliate. So now we have Ben Freemer down here with the bunker and a couple Marines, and Freedom is up here realizing, holy shit, this guy has just proxied me. So this is where it gets kind of interesting. So these SCVs are up on the high ground scouting, which allow this bunker to attack the high ground. Without that, they can't. And the problem is that he's going to have a hard time keeping people off the high ground. And basically, Ben Freemer wants to stop this SCV from making the bunker. And it's a good thing that the bunker was made so far back, because otherwise, whenever the spotting was done, basically this bunker would be able to fire on it. So you can see he made this bunker way out of range of that bunker. And this Marine is up here kind of lonely now. He needs to finish that bunker. But you can see up here, Ben Freemer has still not made anything. In fact, the only other structures that are in here besides the one we first saw are the one Freedom got. And oh, I missed it. I actually watched this replay earlier. I've tried doing this a couple times, and I watched it earlier. Freedom actually made it all the way back to his base with some of Ben Freemer's gas. So basically saying that, you know, if you're not going to mine it, I will. Good times all around. So he has a nice little refinery up here scouting. But really the big attention needs to be drawn to here, where he now has a bunker full of Marines and an SCV that was spotting about halfway up the ramp. Pretty easy to deal with. You can see the bunker already stopped firing. So really the idea with this is you want to keep stuff off the high ground, which is why having the bunker back here was good, because he could just load them up and hopefully fire on stuff off the high ground. But basically Freedom's just going to keep playing like normal and see if he can hold this off, because by this point it's pretty easy to tell that this is an all-in build. Those Marines came really fast, and Freedom can see that if he looked up here, you can see that there's not much more saturation going on. So unless he, unless he could see, yeah, he can see most of the minerals. He can see there isn't, the command center hasn't been working. And but he is bringing the barracks up to do some more spotting, but with no SCVs up here, looks like this bunker is going to go down. I'm going to switch back to everyone view. And sure enough, the bunker does go down, but now there's a bunch of Marines down here trying to fight one Marine. One Marine in a bunker is not going to do it. Freedom can't let this barracks die, otherwise he is going to get overrun by these Marines down here. And Ben Freemer, the #1 diamond in his league, is going to basically put another win on his belt for doing some cheesy stuff. But basically, Freedom bringing enough SCVs around here, and you saw he lost one, so he decided to move the others around here so that the Marines can't shoot him without coming on the high ground, and thus being hit by the bunker. Factory being done. This barracks can't die. If it dies, then this is over. And it looks like he's brought enough that they are reversing the trend, so these Marines now no longer have the firepower to bring this barracks down. And instead, Ben Freemer is bringing down some SCVs. In fact, all of his SCVs have just gone down there to help with the fight. And it's not going to be enough to at least bring this down, but we can see that this is a final desperate attempt, and this is what will usually happen if you catch someone in cheese. They'll do one last final attempt. But this is it. We basically get to find out, is the SCVs Marine combo enough to stop the SCVs from repairing this bunker, because that's where the key is. As long as this bunker's alive, he is good, and he's bringing some more SCVs, but he's still got a few mining, trying to make sure that he's not losing economy entirely. And it looks like he's going to lose all the SCVs, but it doesn't matter. The bunker is able to dispatch all of the SCVs and the Marines, except for this one, who decided that this was a stupid war. He's not going to fight it. And so Freedom is going to immediately counterattack, kill the Marine. He should have ran away when he decided not to join the fight. And basically, Ben Freemer just there. You just gave luck. You had some SCVs there. Not 100% sure what he's talking about, because he should realize that he was attacking the main, where most of the SCVs live and work, at least in the early game. But that's pretty much it. Some good old cheese and some counter to some good old cheese. And basically, key points, like I said, if you ever scout the enemy base, especially if it's Protoss or Terran, and you don't see, by the time you get up there, you don't see your gateway, you don't see whatever, I would start looking around. Now, down here, it's a little bit hard, because this is a big map, so he's got it's a decent amount of time to get up there and search. But key points to search. Up here is a pretty common spot. I've seen some stuff. Usually if it is, it's up here, because you don't want to be able to get caught by the watchtower, or as you can clearly see, back behind the bushes, because even if you got a unit right here, you won't be able to see this barracks. But either way, pretty good stuff. Freedom got a good win, pissed off someone. It's always fun to do that. Kind of disturbing, or not disturbing, kind of upsetting to see. No good game, but it is what it is. So either way, check out the forums. It is KarlJ, KarlJay.com. And the forums, there's a link to the forums, a link to the replays, some good stuff. I'm going to make sure that that's posted in the channel, and I actually am going to post a link to my other channel in this channel, which also has a link to the KarlJ forums. So all around good stuff, and I will see you here before too long, because I'm going to try to get the rest of these replays up here pretty quick.